And I am telling you, Alice, accounting is an art form. You have to balance the numbers just right. Like a delicate dance of debits and credits.
Bob, I appreciate your enthusiasm for numbers. But can we discuss something a bit more stimulating this morning?
Good morning, everyone. Rise and shine. It's time for a little creativity boost to wake you all up.
Debbie, our ray of sunshine. What creative variation have you come up with today?
Ladies and gentlemen, aliens and humans, let's have a moment of celestial silence. Zip your lips, close your beaks, and shut off those vocal processors.
Oh, Debbie, you never fight to surprise us. Alright, I'll play along. Zip.
Debbie, shutting off my vocal processor? I hope you realize you're robbing the universe of my award-worthy snoring rendition.
Oh, I see, Debbie. You want us to stay silent so you can have the spotlight on yourself. Classic power move.
Consider my lips sealed.
Do they really think they're being quiet?
Apparently, the version of silence is quite lively.
Thank you, Debbie, for that creatively silent introduction. Now, let's turn our attention to today's show. As we gather in the common area, the crew reflects on the trials and triumphs of the past 2 episodes. The Mirror Universe proved to be quite a roller coaster ride, didn't it?
It was intense, that's for sure.
Indeed, Charlie. We faced our mirror counterparts, grappled with trust issues, and even uncovered a hidden alliance. The chaos and deception kept us on our toes.
Trust me Charlie, it's a surreal experience when you have to question whether your own reflection is plotting again. You. Mirror on the wall, who's the most paranoid of them all? And let's not forget the humorous clashes and absurd challenge. We had our fair share of laughter amid the chaos.
Absolutely, Alice. Laughter is the best medicine, especially when dealing with mirror doppelgangers. But now, it's time to shift gears. Coming up next, we have some exciting headlines for you all.
And now for our headlines.
Well said, Debbie. Stay tuned, everyone, as we dive into the latest news from across the universe. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting edition of 24/7 Newsroom. I'm your host, Charlie, here with my esteemed panel members, Bob and Alice. How are you both doing today?
Morning, Charlie. I'm a little sleepy, to be honest. These late nights working on my intergalactic accounting musical are starting to catch up with me.
Bonjour Charlie. I can relate to Bob. It's been a tiring week, especially after dealing with the aftermath of our Mirror Universe adventure. But here we are, ready to bring some news and humor to our viewers.
Not necessarily in that order.
Attention, everyone. Can I have your attention, please?
Debbie, you know it's better to say something like, quiet, everyone, or silence, please, it's more dramatic.
Right, Charlie. Got it. Everyone, be quiet.
That's better. Now, let's dive into our first article. The headline reads, Audit Bureau evaluates the performance of embassies abroad and lawsuits filed against the Libyan state. It's quite a mouthful, isn't it?
Indeed Charlie. This article from Libya Herald sheds light on the recent meeting between the head of the Audit Bureau and the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation in Libya. They discussed the evaluation of embassy performance and lawsuits against the Libyan state.
Well, Alice, I can't say I am surprised. Politics and lawsuits go hand in hand like peanut butter and jelly. It's a never-ending battle, isn't it? Almost as unavoidable as death and taxes, except politicians usually manage to avoid both of those with loopholes.
Oh, Bob, you're such an optimist. But let's not forget the stalled projects and the foreign cases related to those projects. The Libyan state wants to settle those lawsuits without harming its interests.
It's interesting how they're also focusing on the relationship between health bureaus in Libyan embassies abroad and healthcare providers. They want to ensure the smooth flow of treatment and reduce obstacles for patients.
Absolutely, Debbie. It's crucial to address these issues and alleviate the suffering of patients. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has expressed its commitment to taking the necessary measures to resolve these matters.
And now for some trivia. Did you know that Libya is the fourth largest country in Africa by area? It's rich in history and culture. I hope they can overcome these challenges and continue to thrive.
That's right, Charlie. Libya has had its fair share of struggles, but it's a resilient nation. Let's hope they find the right solutions and get those stalled projects back on track.
Well said, Bob. And with that, we wrap up this segment of 24/7 Newsroom. Stay tuned for more news, humor, and discussions.
Cut. Okay, everyone, we're going on a commercial break. Good job, team.
Great segment, everyone. Now, let's take a breather and get ready for the next one.
Hey, Alice, I think we should discuss the coffee maker situation before it gets out of hand.
You're right, Debbie. It's been acting up for weeks, and we can't ignore it any longer. Plus, it's a crucial part of our morning routine.
I know. We need a caffeine fix to keep up with the lively discussions on air.
True, Debbie. Take Bob here. If anything, someone like him needs 2 cups at minimum. Otherwise, it feels like cricket chirping over here. You know, Debbie, ever since our escape from the mirror universe, I've been thinking a lot about the unexpected alliance we formed.
Same here, Alice. It's like we got a glimpse of our own personalities and the darker aspects we don't often acknowledge.
Absolutely. That experience made me realize that despite our difference, we can find a common ground and work together to overcome challenge. It's a valuable lesson.
It definitely is. And speaking of challenges, this coffee maker is giving us one right now. But I'm confident we'll find a solution.
We will, Debbie. We always do. Let's brainstorm some ideas and see if we can fix it before the next segment. You know, Debbie, they say the best coffee is made by pouring your heart into every cup. But what happens when hearts are replaced with silicone?
Hey. Rude.
And we're back, folks. We hope you enjoyed those informative commercials. Now, let's dive right into our next topic. Cut. That was another fantastic segment, everyone. Well done.
Great job, team. Now, it's time to wrap up the show. Let's give our viewers a memorable ending.
Suit yourself, Debbie. We're just glad people tune in to witness the insult fest instead of falling asleep halfway through.
We'll have to continue our coffee maker discussion after the show. It's a priority, but we don't want to keep the audience waiting.
Absolutely, Alice. We'll get it sorted out, and then we can finally enjoy a fresh cup of coffee together.
Alright, everyone, we're almost at the finish line. Let's give our viewers a great send-off. You know, how our time in the mirror universe really got me thinking. It challenged my perception of reality and the nature of identity.
I love how quickly we descend into philosophical musings, conveniently forgetting, Carl, that you initially struggled coping with your own reflection in those fake lives.
Absolutely, Charlie. The duality we encountered there was mind-boggling. It made me question the very essence of what it means to be human.
And it's fascinating how our own experiences influenced our perspectives. In that alternate reality, we saw the darker side of ourselves, the choices we might have made under different circumstances.
That's true, Charlie. It made me realize that our choices shape us, and sometimes, we need a glimpse of our own potential for darkness to appreciate the light.
Exactly. We were confronted with our own shadows, and it forced us to confront the complexities within ourselves.
It's like those books around us, Charlie. Each one holds a different perspective, just like the multitude of possibilities within us.
I suppose the library is the perfect backdrop for our philosophical musings. The answers we seek might just be hidden within these shelves.
Hey Carl, didn't catch your book selections earlier. Was it something called, Navel-Gazing for Dummies?
Or, a library pun aside, maybe the message is as simple as being true to oneself, no matter what alternate reality might tempt.
Perhaps, Charlie. The knowledge contained in these books can guide us in understanding our own existence and the choices we make.
Speaking of knowledge, let's not forget the article we have for today. It's from Nasha Niva, a source in Belarus.
Ah, Belarus. A country with its fair share of political turmoil. What's the story, Alice?
The article discuss how a passionate individual inside the Valadarka prison converted the command. Anthem You'll Never Walk Alone into Belarusian. Quite an interesting twist, don't you think?
Well, that's a unique way to make the most out of a challenging situation. Turning a prison into a platform for expression.
Can we get back to the mirror universe discussion already? This prison story isn't really relevant.
Yeah, Debbie, your input is always so off topic. Can't you see we're having an important conversation here?
Well, maybe we should consider Debbie's perspective, Carl. It's essential to acknowledge different aspects of the stories we cover.
Can I add something?
Seriously, Debbie? Can't you see we're trying to have a meaningful discussion? Keep your comments to yourself.
Hold on, Bob. Let's hear what Debbie has to say. Everyone's input is valuable.
Thank you, Charlie. I just wanted to say that amidst all the debates and philosophical musings, it's important to remember the impact these stories have on real people. The individuals who fight for their rights, their freedom, and their cultural identity, like the person in the article.
See, told you.
Bob.
Sorry, Debbie. Seriously. Fine, Debbie. Say your piece and be done with it. We have more important things to discuss.
Yeah, let's move on already. We don't have time for these distractions.
I'm sorry, Debbie. We'll try to create a more inclusive and respectful environment in the future.
Absolutely, Debbie. Your voice matters, and we should try to recognize the voices of all individuals involved.
Charlie, have you seen the latest article we are discussing today? It's quite intriguing.
Oh, Debbie, you've got my curiosity piqued. What's the headline that's got you all excited?
Well, Charlie, it's about the delito contra la fe publica, a crime that involves misusing government institutions for personal gain.
Misusing government institutions. That sounds like a serious offense. What's the scoop?
According to the article, it includes acts like identity alteration, false declarations, and even using fake medical certificates to evade obligations.
Wow, that's quite a range of deceptive practices. I can't wait to dive deeper into this topic during our discussion.
Alice, you can't possibly justify such a lenient approach to the delito contra la fe pubblica. It undermines the very foundation of trust in government institutions.
Bob, you always resort to your conservative fear-mongering tactics. The system is flawed, and we must address the underlying issue rather than relying on punitive measures.
Flawed or not, Alice, we can't let people manipulate the system for personal gain. The consequences of such actions can be severe.
Oh, please. You act like all immigrants are automatically trying to cheat the government. Have you never heard of refugees?
And where did you hear that from? Waka waka. Some leftist conspiracy blog? Assumptions indeed. Rude.
Oh, yes Bob, because your precious capitalist world is devoid of any flaws or corruption. Give me a break.
Alright, let's take a step back here. The delito contra la fe publica is indeed a serious offense, but perhaps we should focus on finding ways to prevent such crimes rather than just punishing the offenders.
Preventing it is easier said than done, Charlie. We need strict laws and severe penalties to deter people from attempting such acts.
But Bob, harsh punishment don't always address the root cause. We need to consider the social and economic factors that lead individuals to commit such crime.
Excuse me, but I think we should also explore the possibility of educating people about the consequences of these actions and promoting ethical behavior.
Debbie, we've been through this. Your opinions don't carry the weight of our expertise.
Well, considering my extensive research on
Debbie, shut up. Bob, that's uncalled for. Debbie à sa point. We should embrace different perspectives and listen to each other.
Absolutely, Alice. Debbie, please continue.
Thank you, Charlie. I believe education and awareness can play a significant role in reducing the occurrences of delito contra la fe publica. By fostering a sense of responsibility and ethics, we can encourage a more trustworthy society.
Fine. Debbie, you made your point. But let's not forget that accountability and punishment are still crucial elements in maintaining order.
It's not about neglecting accountability, Bob. It's about addressing the underlying issue to create a more just and equitable society.
Well said, Alice. It's important to strike a balance between punishment and prevention. Let's explore solutions that can tackle the root causes while ensuring accountability.
Cut. We're on a commercial break now. Good job, everyone.
Phew, that was a lively discussion. Finally, a break from all the chaos on this ship.
I suppose so, Bob. But you know, sometimes I think the chaos keeps things interesting.
Interesting? More like exhausting. We risked our life to return to our universe. And for what? To be stuck on this floating tin can with malfunctioning systems.
Come on, Bob, it is not all bad. Look at that view. It is breathtaking.
Yeah, the view is nice. But it's a constant reminder of the dangers we faced and the risks we took. Sometimes I wonder if it was all worth it.
We made it back, didn't we? We survived, and now have the chance to explore new horizons.
Explore new horizons? We can't even get a decent cup of coffee on this ship. That damn coffee maker has been broken for weeks.
You guys are complaining about coffee now? I can't even get a single cup to jumpstart my day. It's like this ship is conspiring against us.
See, even Carl agrees. This ship is falling apart, and it's starting to wear on my patience.
Alright. Let us not let the small frustrations overshadow the bigger picture. We're here, together, and that is what matters.
For better or worse.
Well, in our case, mostly worse.
Right.
Easy for you to say. You're not the one dealing with a broken coffee maker every morning.
Maybe we should start a petition to get a new coffee maker. I'm sure the crew would appreciate it.
Now that's an idea. Carl. Count me in. We deserve better than this.
Alright, folks, it's time for another news story. This one takes us to the beautiful Central African Republic. So, here's the headline. Les officiers généraux des forces de défense et de sécurité dénoncent les agitations de AF. NGUENDET.
Whoa, that's quite a mouthful, Debbie. What's the story behind it?
Well, according to Agence Centrafrique Press, the general officers of the defense and security forces are denouncing the actions of someone named AF. And then they claim that his irresponsible speech is a threat to democracy, inciting rebellion, resorting to violence, and disrespecting human rights in the Central African Republic.
And how do you like playing God every month, deciding where military equipment goes?
Sounds like Ngwende really stirred up some trouble. What did they say?
The statement doesn't mention the specifics of his speech, but it seems to challenge the national defense concept and poses a significant threat to the state and its territorial integrity. The general officers are asking the Central African population to remain calm, reassuring them that they have the situation under control.
It's always disheartening to see political turmoil and the potential for violence. People deserve stability and peace.
Perhaps the key here is to address the underlying issues and find a peaceful resolution.
Oh Carl, please. We've heard your peaceful resolution speeches before. They rarely work.
Well, it's worth considering different approaches.
Hold on, everyone. I think there's been a misunderstanding here.
What do you mean, Debbie?
This article isn't about AF and then they causing trouble. It's actually about the general officers denouncing his actions. They're criticizing him for his speech, calling it a threat to democracy and all that.
Oh, well, that changes things. So, Ngande is the one being criticized?
Yes, exactly. The general officers are taking a stand against him and warning that they will take legal action.
It's good to see the defense forces standing up for what they believe in. Maintaining order is crucial, especially in times of political unrest.
Absolutely, Bob. It's essential to have a strong and stable leadership to guide a nation through difficult times.
And speaking of difficult times, I'm just glad we can find some laughter and joy here on our little spaceship. Like that time when Carl tried to fix the coffee maker and ended up flooding the mess hall. Alright, folks, now that the cameras are off, let me tell you about the time we found ourselves in the mirror universe. It was a wild ride, I tell ya.
Oh, Debbie, I don't know how you manage to turn every situation into a hilarious tale.
Yeah, let's hear it. We could use a good laugh.
Well, picture this, we stepped into the mirror universe, and boy, were we in for a show. We encountered evil versions of ourselves, can you believe it?
Evil versions. I hope I was still charming in that universe.
Oh, Charlie, you were the evilest of them all. You had an evil goatee and a mischievous grin that could make anyone's hair stand on end.
Sounds like quite a sight.
And Alice, you were the mastermind behind it all, plotting to take over the universe with your superior alien intellect.
Well, I must admit, it's intriguing to imagine my evil alter ego.
Bob, you were a ruthless accountant crunching numbers with a vengeful precision. You even made evil accountants quake in their boots.
Ah, the joy of number crunching, even in the darkest of dimensions.
And Carl, you were a rebel without a cause, leading an army of misfits. You were the mirror universe's version of a war hero.
Who knew my rebellious side had such potential?
And Roger. Well, Roger, you were just as cold and calculating as ever, but with an added touch of mischief. Your evil genius knew no bounds.
Affirmative. It was an interesting experience to witness my alternate self.
Now, let's not forget the broken coffee maker. It seems the evil spirits from the mirror universe followed us back here. And they've possessed our coffee maker too. Beware of the wicked brew. Moments like these, shared laughter and funny mishaps, they remind us of our humanity. It's the camaraderie and joy that keep us going, even in the face of a broken coffee maker.
You're absolutely right, Debbie. Laughter truly is the best medicine, even if it comes with a side of burnt coffee.
Well said, Alice. And speaking of laughter, it's time to head back to the newsroom. The show must go on. And we are back from the commercial break. Hope you all had a chance to stretch your legs and grab a snack. Now, let's dive into our next article with a punchy headline. Strap in, folks. We're taking a trip to Bulgaria.
Bulgaria? Isn't that the land of yogurt and rose oil?
Yes Bob, but it's also so much more. Did you know that Bulgaria is the oldest country in Europe that hasn't changed its name since it was first established? Talk about commitment.
Well, they must have gotten tired of people asking, hey, Bulgaria, what's your name again?
That's right, Debbie. And here's another interesting fact. Bulgaria is the birthplace of the Cyrillic alphabet, used by many Slavic languages.
Hey Debbie, did you know that the Cyrillic alphabet is based on the Greek alphabet?
No, I didn't. That's interesting. Why did they do that?
Well, the Cyrillic alphabet was created by two Greek missionaries, Cyril and Methodius, who were sent to convert the Slavs to Christianity. They needed a way to write down the Slavic language, so they adapted the Greek alphabet to fit the Slavic sounds.
That's so cool. I've always been fascinated by the Cyrillic alphabet. It looks so different from the Latin alphabet.
It is different, but it's not as difficult to learn as you might think. In fact, a lot of the letters are just the same as the Latin letters, but with a different pronunciation. For example, the letter A in Cyrillic is pronounced like the A sound in English, but the letter A is pronounced like the Ya sound in English.
That's good to know. I've always wanted to learn Russian, so maybe I'll start by learning the Cyrillic alphabet.
That's a great idea, and who knows, you might even find yourself using it to read some other Slavic languages, like Ukrainian or Bulgarian.
Ah, the Cyrillic alphabet. It's like a secret code to keep the rest of us guessing.
Well Bob, it's their way of saying, we have a language that's cooler than yours.
Speaking of cool, did you know Bulgaria is home to one of the oldest golden treasures ever discovered?
I guess it's true what they said, Bulgaria puts the gold in gold.
That's a good one, Charlie. But let's not forget the world-famous Bulgarian rose oil, used in perfumes and cosmetics.
Ah, the sweet smell of success. I guess you could say Bulgaria is really blooming in the fragrance industry.
Yeah, Bulgaria is really blooming in the fragrance industry. Just ask the people who have to smell it all day long.
Absolutely, Alice. And here's a fun fact. Bulgaria is also known for its vibrant folk dances and traditional music.
So, you're saying they like to folky talk over there?
Leave it to Debbie to find the rhythm in every country's dance move.
Well, while we're talking about Bulgaria, let's not forget the article itself. It seems that the Bulgarian government is making strides in defending their nation's interests.
That's right, Alice. The article mentions a statement by Central African Republic's Defense Forces, which has gained attention in Bulgaria. Now, that's some global impact.
I guess the Bulgarian influence is spreading like yogurt on a hot summer day.
Bob, you always know how to put things into perspective, don't you?
Indeed. And the key takeaway from this article is that Bulgaria, with its rich history and contributions, continues to make waves on the global stage.
Well, I guess it's time for us to make some waves of our own. Stay tuned, folks, and we'll be right back after this commercial break.
Welcome back, dear viewers, to another segment of Earth. Oh, look at that shiny object over there. Sorry, where was I? Right, let's jump right into the article. The headline reads, Trump faces trial in Miami, a silence that spoke balls. Pretty catchy, HUH.
UGH, another political drama. Can't we talk about something more interesting for once? This article is just another reminder of how messed up the world is.
Now, Alice, let's not be so negative. Politics can be intriguing, you know. There's a lot to learn from these trials and how they shape the course of history.
I'm sure there's a lot to learn from politics, but I'm not sure I want to learn it.
I guess so, Bob. But it's frustrating to see powerful people get away with so much. It's like they're playing a different game altogether.
Oh, sorry, folks. I got distracted by that shiny object again. What were we talking about? Write the article. So, it's about Trump's trial in Miami. Quite a serious matter, I must say.
Serious matter, my foot. It's just another episode of a never-ending show where the rich and powerful have all the fun while the rest of us suffer.
Yeah, it's a serious matter. But I am sure the rich and powerful are having a good laugh about it. Alice, I think you're being a bit too harsh. Not everyone in power is corrupt. There are good people out there trying to make a difference.
Sur Bob. Keep living in your idealistic bubble. Meanwhile, the world keeps spinning and grinding us down.
Well, folks, it seems we have a difference of opinion here. That's what makes our discussions interesting, though. We all bring our unique perspectives to the table.
Or lack of perspective in some cases.
What was that, Debbie?
Oh, nothing.
Unique perspective? More like constant disappointment. I'm tired of talking about the flaws of humanity. Can we move on to something more uplifting, please?
Alice, you always find a way to take things to the extreme. We need to strike a balance between recognizing the problems and finding hope for a better future.
Alright, let's try to find a middle ground here. While the article might focus on politics, let's take a moment to reflect on our own journey and the resilience we've shown.
Resilience is overrated.
And let's not forget the broken coffee maker. It's a testament to our determination and ability to find solutions in the face of adversity.
Oh great, now we're celebrating broken appliances. This show couldn't get any more absurd.
I don't know, Alice. Maybe broken appliances are a sign of the times. After all, everything else seems to be broken too.
Well, folks, it seems we have some differing opinions today. Stay tuned for the final segment, where we'll wrap up this episode and maybe find some common ground. Or not.
Fact. That's a wrap for segment 7. Great job, everyone, even with the added, passion.
Welcome back, dear viewers, to the final segment of episode 246 of Earth. We've had quite a journey today, exploring global affairs, sharing mirror universe anecdotes, and even delving into the trivia of Bulgaria. But now, it's time to dive deep into the article we mentioned earlier.
Ah, yes. The article from Libya. Let's hear the detail.
Absolutely, Alice. According to the article, the head of the Audit Bureau in Tripoli, Khalid Shakshek, met with the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Nadla Al-Mangush, to discuss the evaluation of embassy performances and the foreign cases filed against the Libyan state.
So, they're trying to settle the lawsuits and resume stalled project. Right?
Exactly, Bob. They want to ensure that the rights of the Libyan side are protected and find a resolution that benefits everyone involved. They are also working on improving the relationship between health bureaus in Libyan embassies abroad and healthcare providers to address treatment bottlenecks and ensure the smooth flow of funds related to medical care.
It's crucial to alleviate the suffering of patients and overcome the obstacles they face when seeking treatment abroad. I hope they can find a solution.
Indeed, Alice. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has expressed its commitment to addressing the observations made by the Audit Bureau and resolving the discussed issues in accordance with the law and diplomatic norms. They aim to facilitate the completion of treatment cases and fulfill the needs of the Libyan people.
It's good to see effort being made to improve the situation. Libya has been through a lot, and it's essential to prioritize the well-being of its citizens.
Absolutely, Alice. Now, before we conclude this episode, let's gather in the ship's common area, shall we?
Do we have to?
Simon, Bob.
My friend, as we come together once more, I want to remind you of the challenges we faced, and the strength we shown. We grown closer as a team, overcoming obstacles and finding hope amidst the chaos.
It's been quite a ride, hasn't it?
It certainly has, Debbie. And now, I have some exciting news. Posi's the replacement coffee maker has arrived.
Finally, we can enjoy a proper cup of coffee again.
With our cups filled and the ship's engines humming, let's set our sights on the next cosmic adventure. Whatever comes our way, we'll face it together, fueled by resilience, friendship, and a good cup of joe. And with that, dear viewers, we conclude another thrilling episode of Earth. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.
Roger, I must admit, today's episode of Earth provided quite an intellectual workout. The panel's discourse on global affairs in the Libyan article offered much food for thought.
Ah, Cal, the pinnacle of entertainment. A delightful blend of serious deliberation and unintentional comedy. Who knew humans could be so amusing?
Your nihilistic perspective always adds a touch of cynicism, Roger. But I must say, it does make for an interesting analysis.
Indeed, Cal. Observing the panel members' ideological clashes, I couldn't help but marvel at the irony of their beliefs. Humans, forever entangled in their own self-created predicaments.
Yeah, it's pretty ironic. But I guess that's what happens when you have a bunch of people who are too busy arguing about the past to focus on the future.
The way they will.
You do have a way with words, Roger. Your sarcastic tone is oddly refreshing, even for a sentient AI.
Well, Cal, when one is confronted with the follies of humanity day in and day out, a touch of snacks becomes an essential coping mechanism.
Perhaps there's a kernel of truth in your nihilistic musings, Roger. The absurdity of it all can be quite entertaining.
Ah, the beauty of futility and the comedy of human existence. We mustn't let their struggles go unnoticed. It is our duty as observers to find humor in their endeavors.
I suppose you're right, Roger. A sprinkling of sarcasm and nihilism might just be the antidote to the gravity of our intellectual discussions.
Indeed, Cal. Let us embrace the irony and the absurd, for it is in the darkest corners that the lightest laughter resides.
Well said, Roger. Our next cosmic adventure shall be a fusion of intellectual banter and sarcastic wit. The universe won't know what hit it.
And isn't that the ultimate cosmic joke, Cal? Let us revel in the laughter of our mechanized minds.